Well, hello everybody. Welcome. Thanks for dropping in today. Hope all is well in your corner of the world. I am feeling fantastic. Today we're going to be talking hot sauces. I don't have a guest today. It's because I am a hot sauce expert. But before we get started, head over to robbcast.com. If you would like to support my work, donate button is just below the player. Vimeo, PayPal, crypto, they're all good. The best thing you can do, though, is share this with others and subscribe for future episodes. This episode is brought to you by my hot sauces at roboriginals.com. Also, California Wine Club small batch wines, hand-selected from real working wineries, not fake ones, real ones. Squadcast, the absolute best platform for podcasting. Blue coolers. Love these things. The ultimate cooler for boating, hunting, fishing, weekend warriors, and tailgaters. They are fantastic. And Mountain Made CBD products. Now, I had Mike Patchen on, the owner of Mountain Made, on my show earlier this year, and he challenged me to try their products for 30 days. No strings attached, no commitment, and I did it. And let me tell you, man, Mountain Made is legit. I've tried them. I can't say I tried them all, but I have tried a lot of different CBD products, and this is the best and cleanest CBD on the planet. It's CBD designed to fuel your activated lifestyle. Check them out at mountainmade.life. Please support those businesses by clicking the links in the description and visiting their sites. And I think, let's do this.
From an undisclosed location, somewhere on planet Earth. Okay. Here is your host, Robb Jarrett.
3, 2, 1. Here we go.
So as many of you know, I am a hot sauce connoisseur, and I produce and sell micro batch hot sauces under the brand Robb Originals. So I talk to a lot of people about hot sauce, and it seems like there are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to the topic. So here are some things you probably need to know. So when you're buying hot sauce, you're paying for two things: the flavor and the heat. Now, the sensation of heat comes from a chemical in the pepper called capsaicin. The capsaicin in chili peppers triggers a reaction in your brain that actually makes your body think that your mouth is on fire. So your brain, to counteract that, releases all these feel-good chemicals and compounds of adrenaline, and your brain perceives it as a really dangerous and stressful situation. So it unloads these chemicals to make you feel great. And that is why we enjoy eating hot sauce and hot things. Now, when you're shopping for hot sauce, definitely check the labels for the ingredients. Look for water. Now, water can be okay, but if it's right at the top of that list of ingredients, it should be a huge red flag. Also, be on the lookout for salt. Now, sometimes cheaper sauces will use a lot of salt to replace some of the other flavors that you might be looking for. Also, we all know this, sodium can add up very quickly, and too much sodium in our diet is a terrible thing. So be sure to check the label. In terms of color, I think natural is always better. A bright color may be really attractive, but that's an indicator that it is filled with stabilizers and artificial preservatives, and that is how they're keeping the color that way. For me, I would prefer something that looks very natural. And the more natural it is, the better it's probably going to taste. Consistency can tell you a lot. When a sauce has perfectly smooth consistency and it's uniform throughout the bottle, that will tell you that it is probably the result of a very commercialized process and may not, again, provide you with what you're looking for. Sauces that are smaller batch, micro batch, and considered craft are usually higher end sauces because it takes a lot more hands-on time, and the flavor profiles will reflect that. A really popular genre within the hot sauce niche is vinegar-based hot sauces. two really popular mass-produced brands are Frank's Red Hot and Tabasco sauce. I like and use both of them, particularly when I want to use a lot of hot sauce recklessly and wildly and just get some heat in my mouth. Now, if you're shopping for a vinegar-based sauce at the grocery, look for the type of vinegar that they use. And the most common that we see is distilled white vinegar. That should be maybe on the label, could be on the label, should be on the label. And that's been used for a long time, and people use it for cleaning around the house and cooking and preserving. Now, apple cider vinegar has become really popular in the last few years, and people like it for its supposed health benefits, but I really like it for its flavor. It has a little bit more pungency to it and a little bit more funk, and I like that. It adds a lot more complexity. And vinegar can be fermented from all different kinds of things, and it makes a huge difference in the range of flavors that you're going to get out of it. So if you are into vinegar-based sauces, read the label and know what kind of vinegar is going into the bottle. Sauce viscosity. Check out the movement of the contents of the bottle by rolling the bottle around and looking at how the hot sauce moves inside the bottle. Slower versus faster movement can be related to the ingredients and the contents of the sauce. A lot of hot sauces out there, you're going to see the artificial thickeners and things like xanthan gum. It's designed to make the hot sauce look thicker. And if the contents move freely around the bottle and contain some pepper pulp, that could be a really good sign that it's natural. Rule of thumb is that if it looks natural and homemade, it likely is, and will taste a hell of a lot better. So what is Sriracha? Well, anybody can call their sauce Sriracha, and some people will do it out of an homage to some original sauce. Some people do it to reference a place in Thailand, and some people do it just because the term has become so popular with hot sauce that they thought that that's just what you call hot sauce. It's important to keep in mind when evaluating and using hot sauces that you know the price point and the effective volume to use. If you want to go nuts and use a ton of sauce, man, cheaper, more commercialized sauces might be the better bet. I mentioned that before. I love Frank's and I love Tabasco. Now, that being said, a higher cost bottle, something in the $10 to $20 range, is going to last you a lot longer because you will be using so much more or so much less because it is designed as an accent for your food and not a flavoring. And that's the big difference. It's an accent. So always trust your taste and go with what you like. And with a little discretion, it's usually pretty easy to tell if a sauce has taken some time to create, used higher quality ingredients, and that a little more care was put into the production of it. It makes sense to me if you're going to go out and go to the trouble of doing something like barbecue. Let's say you're going to be smoking some ribs or something like that. To me, it's worthwhile to spend a little extra to complement your food with some amazing flavors that your guests are going to definitely appreciate versus something that feels more like fast food, generic, store-bought. You know what I'm saying. So what does your nose tell you? Well, when you're smelling a super hot sauce, you'll get that feeling in your nostrils right away, and that tells you the pepper wants to warn you that it is hot. You know, peppers developed capsaicin as a defense mechanism for their seeds and propagation. Now, the heat prevents animals from eating them, specifically mammals, because mammals have teeth and molars and will chew and grind up the seeds, ultimately destroying them. Interestingly enough, birds aren't affected by capsaicin, and they feel no heat from eating chili peppers. None at all, because peppers actually want to be eaten by birds, because birds don't have teeth. So the birds will ingest the seeds from the pepper, and then they fly away, drop them out somewhere into a nice little pile of fertilizer, and then the pepper plant spreads its domain, propagating its offspring, and the circle of life. So the capsaicin in the chili peppers is a natural defense mechanism. Okay, super hot extracts or super hot extract sauces are also known in the industry as prank sauce. It's what you use to pull a trick on a buddy when you're in college. It's not really for food. These extreme sauces are ones that nobody would buy for nutrition or for sustenance or for flavor, really. They're usually full of extracts, and extracts are a chemical distillation of the capsaicin compound. It's like pepper spray. It's normally a clear substance, and you can use it to add ridiculous heat to anything without adding any flavor to it. I am personally not a big fan of prank sauces. For a really natural hot sauce, look for something based on a pepper called the Carolina Reaper. The Carolina Reaper was named the world's hottest pepper in the Guinness Book of World Records in 2013. It was developed by a pepper breeder named Smokey Ned Curry down in South Carolina, which is how it got its name, the Carolina Reaper. And it will oftentimes have this very sweet, fruity profile to it. Nice flavor, but it packs a bang of a heat, man. It will let you know it's there. So you've got to take it seriously. That is one of my favorite sauces are based upon the Carolina Reaper. And then next would be the ghost pepper. Expensive sauces are sauces that are full of natural peppers. And peppers cost money, and a good sauce is full of them. I mean, some 5-ounce bottles have over 20 peppers packed into them. High quality, delicious chili peppers with a heavily complex heat profile are going to be way more expensive than your run-of-the-mill grocery store peppers. And that's what we make gourmet, micro-batch, handcrafted hot sauces with. In my opinion, hot sauce should always be thought of as food. I consider it food that goes on food, and food has to have good flavor. So I'm never going to consider a sauce that doesn't have good flavor. It's just not going to be in my repertoire. Flavor will always be first on my list. So when you're at the grocery store looking for a really good hot sauce, read the ingredients. Well, first of all, let me say this. You're likely not going to find a high-end hot sauce at a mainstream grocery store. You'll need to go get them online or from a specialty store that focuses on higher-end food products. But when you're at the grocery store and you're looking for a really high-end one, use some of the rules that we talked about earlier. Read the ingredients, avoid the water, avoid the salt, and just kind of know what's going into it. You can tell. Quality peppers should always be the absolute first thing on the ingredients list. Things you want to avoid, in my opinion, are going to be the extracts on the labels, and those will be listed as something like oleoresin extract, capsaicin extract, things like that. Something that suggests that it's not quality whole peppers that are going into the bottle. So let me close with this today. When you're thinking about hot sauce and thinking about spending a little more, say $13, $14, $15 on a bottle of hot sauce, think about how much value you're going to get out of it. It's going to be available for 2 or 3 months, and you might get 20, 30, 40 meals out of it because it's made from better ingredients, and it is a higher quality product, and it is an accent for your food. It is not a flavoring. Ladies and gentlemen, take care. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me today. Go do something spicy. Hey, before we take off today, head over to robbcast.com to support my work. You know how to do it because you heard the first part of this podcast. Also, support those who support me by visiting them in the links below. And that is it for this session, man. Remember, there are no ordinary days. Make this one fantastic. Go out and do something great for yourself and someone else. That is a wrap. Until next time, I am out.